With the season opener at the Michigan International Speedway behind them, the AST Voltson Super Trucks heads to the quarter-mile bull ring known as the Flat Rock Speedway in the town of Flat Rock, Michigan. It's about as opposite as MIS as you can get as far as ovals go. And on the pole would be Mike Ramos in the number 23 Lycoya for Sutton Racing Team. Ramos regularly races at the Kalamazoo Speedway, which the series will be visiting later this summer. And on his outside is Kane Canavan in the 74. Great qualifying effort by Canavan to put that very underfunded truck on the front row. This is Kim Conway in the 00. This is the second Pamela Keller racing truck. Conway will be racing in the weekly ranks here at the Flat Rock Speedway all year for Pamela Keller's team. And she will also be racing here today in the Voltson Super Trucks. Pamela Keller herself, however, is not faring nearly as well as Conway is. She's barely inside the top 20, and only 23 trucks took the green flag for this race. Darrell Quick is beginning to make his way forward. He is trying to get past the 69 of Brownwood Way and break into the top 5. Quick, of course, won the SAR Nebraska 100 about 1 month ago, and is trying to have another fantastic run here today, trying to get around the 69. And the inside and outside lanes of this track, at least in the opening stages, appear to be very evenly matched. Ramos and Canavan, neither of them have cleared each other. We are over 10 laps in, and they are still battling side by side. So is Gordon Davis and Rachel Kowalczyk right behind them. Pamela Keller has now fallen all the way back to 21st. Only 2 trucks are behind her at this point. Dave Coleman in the 56. It's kind of surprising to see Coleman this far back considering his past experience on Michigan short tracks. And in last place is Ron Fergus in the 72F, making his first start of the season. Fergus was supposed to be at MIS as well. However, the team could not prepare a car for a super speedway in time, and looking at the car that they brought here to Flat Rock, it's not that hard to see why. That looks an awful lot like one particular truck that raced in the Arlo Tornado Valley Truck Series last year, and it wasn't that fast in that series either. It appears that Priest Motors just slapped some stickers over the original sponsors and put the team's own sponsors over them. That truck is about as fast as it looks. It is going a lap down, less than 20 laps into this 100-lap race. Zach Churchill is trying to get around his teammate Brianna Prinzhorn. Churchill and Prinzhorn both have lots of races under their belt at this track, but Churchill has more than Prinzhorn does. Many more for that matter. He did not qualify as well as the 7, but in the race he is making up for it. He just got by her and is now trying to get by Alex Martinez. Hunter Blaze is running in around 15th place. He started in 10th, but has slowly been falling back. The outside line has started to drop off a little bit as this race has continued on. Blaze, 15 years old, and already has a track championship to his name at the Columbus Motor Speedway in Ohio. Nancy Keith, trying to make it 3 wide going on the inside of the 71 with Prinzhorn on the outside. And there's a truck in trouble, that's Ron Fergus. He has spun around here on lap number 26. Let's take a look and see what happened. He's still holding up Kane Canavan, drifts wide into turn 1, and cuts back down across the 74, spinning himself out into the backstretch wall. And that was, if I do say so myself, that was rather clumsy on the part of Fergus. He pushes wide in the entrance to the corner as we are looking on board from Gordon Davis. Not because he was trying to get out of the way of the 74, but because he pushed a accident and tried to come back down when the 74 stuck his nose in there. Kane Canavan and Zach Churchill making contact there, coming back to the caution hole. And again, Canavan was running in 2nd place before Fergus came across him, before he came across Fergus, that is, and now he was running in 7th under caution. Ramos continues to lead on the restart, with Rachel Kowalczyk running behind him in 2nd. Chris Washer has made a move to the inside of Darrell Quick and is trying to work his way towards the front. He goes to the inside of Fergus to make his 3 wide as Fergus is continuing to fall through the field again, much to the displeasure of the rest of the field. The lap cars start on the inside line, and I think there might have been a little bit of contact between Fergus and Darrell Quick right there. Gordon Davis trying to get by him as well. Here's a replay, and whoa! Fergus drifts up into the 82, back down into the 32. I think he should consider himself rather lucky that he has not caused another crash at this point. Alex Martinez is now up to the 7th position and is trying to get by Darrell Quick. Martinez races at the Kalamazoo Speedway and has also run in some TM Mexico races in his home country of Mexico on and off over the past 10 years, also running some races in the Voltson Super Trucks this year. Battle is on for 2nd place between 4 drivers. Chris Washer is trying to get around Rachel Kowalczyk on the inside, And right behind them, Gordon Davis and John White are battling each other for position. Of these drivers, none of them are from the Flat Rock Speedway, and I say this because many of the drivers in this field have lots of experience in this track. Washer has now cleared the 402 truck, but coming into turn 3, he slips up a little bit, and Gordon Davis takes full advantage of the opportunity, takes to the inside line, and takes the second spot right back from the 96 truck. And as you can see, Mike Ramos, despite all the racing that is going on behind him, is not pulled away at all. These trucks have actually closed in on him despite all of their racing, and Davis is now going for the lead, making a move to the inside of Ramos. Davis is the first driver to challenge Ramos for the lead since Kane Canavan fell back early on. The 23 now in the high lane where he has not been all race, but perhaps he has found some speed up there, which he did not know he had, because he's going to fend off the 32 for several laps until they take the caution. The 23 is still in the lead. Here's what happened. Ron Fergus is going to do the same thing that he did to bring out the first yellow. This time he takes himself and Pamela Keller hard into the backstretch wall. Caution is out once again. Let's take a look at this from the aerial camera. Fergus drifts up high, cuts back across Brianna Princehorn into 7, and wow, that was a hard impact into the outside wall. The 72F punched through the concrete barrier. There was a short red flag to get that repaired, and a heavy hit for the 02 as well. A really bad day for Pamela Keller, especially with the expectations for her. Comes to a rather rude end as Fergus repeats the same mistake that he did to bring out the only other caution of this race. I would be surprised if he doesn't get any sort of penalty for that. On the restart, Ramos is still leading, but Gordon Davis immediately comes back to the inside of the 23. He is not done battling him yet, and he won't be for a while because they're going to race side by side for another several laps before Davis is going to clear Ramos in turn 4. But Ramos is going to get a big run on the outside and immediately resume the battle for the lead. Eventually, however, Davis would clear the 23 and stay ahead of the 23. Davis officially takes over the lead of the race. John White has been running the third since the restart, continuing his good run, but trying to take that position from him is Connor Coda, the 68, who has slowly been working his way towards the front all day. Another driver making his way towards the front after a slow start to the race is Ronald Way, the 69. He is currently battling with Hunter Blaze right now. Way is another one of the Flat Rock racers. And speaking of Hunter Blaze, we've already talked about him and Chris Washer today, the 15 and 14-year-old drivers. But there's another racer in the field who is less than 18. That is Caden Holt in the 83K. Holt, sort of trying to recover this week after receiving a penalty last week for causing a big crash in rather foolish fashion. He has been clean all this weekend, and even though he's not running towards the front, as this race approaches its closing stages, he is beginning to get by some cars and make his way forward. Kevin Thompson, another one of the drivers on his way to the front, is getting by John White without much of a fight from the 06 truck, and is now trying to get by Mike Ramos. Ramos has already lost the second spot to Connor Coda. Kevin Thompson and John White are fierce rivals, you could say, at the Portland Winter Coliseum. Very good friends off the track, but on track, they are two of the most competitive drivers that will ever race each other. Gordon Davis is now caught up to the second lap truck of the day. This is Jack Clark, and that is Jack Clark in the 789, the Toledo Speedway racer. Ronald Way is now caught up to Kevin Thompson, so despite Thompson's charge through the field, Way appears to be even faster at him in the moment. He's going for the third position, and on the backstretch is going to take it from him. Way, I mentioned, is another one of the Flat Rock racers, so not many of them qualified that well, but as the race is going on, a lot of them are making their way forward. Way is now the highest running Flat Rock racer. And meanwhile, Davis is pulling away, or still pulling away. He's now lapping the 56 truck of Dave Coleman. Zach Churchill making his way past Mike Ramos now as the 23 continues to drop back. Led most of the first half of the race, but the truck has really fallen off. Chase Eberhard now battling with his Outlaw Motorsports teammate Ronald Way for the third position as they are trying to lap Jack Clark. Eberhard started in the second to last row of the field, and despite Way having so many races run at this track, Eberhard is much faster than him at the moment. He gets by the 69 for the third spot. But meanwhile, in the front of the field, Gordon Davis would open up a big lead, never look back, and win the Flat Rock 100, just as he laps Kim Conway in the 00. And on the cooldown lap, John White would run up into the 69 of Ronald Way and put the 69 truck into the wall. we didn't see anything happen between them during the race, so that was rather interesting to see. But anyways, Davis and Ace Racing Motorsports take the win. Connor Coda is still in second place. Chase Eberhard from 22nd to 3rd. A great run through the field to the front by Eberhard today. Zach Churchill in 4th. He is the only driver to finish in the top 5 in the first 2 races of the season. Ronald Way fell back to 5th. John White back to 6th. Kevin Thompson in 7th. Mike Ramos fell all the way back to 8th place after starting on the pole and leading the first half of the race. Chris Washer finishes in 9th, and Hunter Blaze rounds out the top 10.